Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of To Be an Actor. My name is Sikelelo Vuyeleni and I am an actress from South Africa. This platform, if you're new, is one that seeks to just give guidance and share knowledge about what the industry is like, the acting industry specifically. So if you are an aspiring actor, actress, or just have gotten into this industry and looking to see how can you make this better for yourself, you have not gone astray. This is exactly where you should be. Please do let your friends know and your friends' friends to know that this is where we gather and speak about all things to be an actor. Welcome to our channel and action. Today's episode is a follow-through from the previous one where we have asked questions on our Instagram platform To Be an Actor. So if you aren't following me on my personal account, Sikelelo_6 on Instagram, you are missing out. We do have a channel that we use to just have conversations about this kind of thing, and they are the first to know when we have a video out. So do yourself the favor and check us out there so that you can be in the loop and also contribute to the conversations we have right here on the tube. So we asked questions and people answered, and this is the second edition of that. So I will go right ahead and just answer those questions in no particular order, and should also have them on the screen as well. Let's get started. The first question goes as follows. Advantages and disadvantages of taking on international gigs. Okay, this is a really good question, and I may not have a full scope of understanding on this one because I myself have not necessarily gone outside of the country or have had an international gig. However, having people around me that may have taken that step and sort of tasted the waters, it can be pretty lonely, right? I think we are home in South Africa and we have support, we have family, we have friends that we know. So this can be a disadvantage or an advantage. You decide where you look at it depending on the kind of person that you are, right? Leaving home to go into a new space is always daunting. So if you are a person that does not care about that and just ready to get onto any challenge that life brings you, this would be the best thing for you. It would mean that you need to learn a whole new culture, how people live, how actors live or operate in an international space or in that specific space that you would have gone to or gotten the gig at. However, I really think it's an amazing opportunity to take an international gig because you don't know where that could take you. So when the opportunity presents itself, I would say definitely go for it. So I do think that I will lean more towards the advantage rather than the disadvantage of things, because I think it's a beautiful opportunity. A lot can happen. You can meet many people. It can start even opening up more doors for you that would get you to be an international actor. And I'm not saying give away home. Home will always be home, but you can always come back home, right? But I do think that you can use to like the fullest potential what that opportunity can give you, and hopefully look out for more opportunities and get an agent that side so that there can be more doors opening. Yeah, make sure that you are already researching so that when it does come, it gets you prepared. That's all I can say with that. The next question is juggling acting and other jobs art related like TV presenting and modeling. I am assuming that Buko here is asking for how does one juggle these things. The biggest thing that you can do for yourself is be able to manage time, really. That's what I think. Because you don't want to also find yourself just being a one-dimensional person, just an actor. I mean, yes, you can be just an actor and it be enough, right? However, if we're looking at the practical and the reality of things, sometimes that is not enough to feed you and sustain you and have you do the things that you also want to do in life without worrying about financial state, right? So manage your time wisely, prioritize, know what you want to put your heart into more than the other. So you must know, do I like acting more than I like presenting? Do I like presenting more than I like modeling? And even in that, what is coming forward more? What's being asked of me more? Is it my presenting side? Is it my acting side? So it's you finding out what works best and what's more practical, what's more realistic for you, and then try to prioritize that as it comes, right? Otherwise, I don't think that there's anything wrong with you juggling all of those. It's just you being able to have them live as separate entities or not affect each other in a negative way. So big ups if that's even a thing for you. I think it's a great thing for one to be a triple threat or more when the opportunity presents itself. So shout out to you. Hopefully that is happening. The next question is how to find acting workshops or classes. Have your ear on the ground all the time. Follow the relevant spaces. For example, I'll say active spaces. If you follow active spaces, you will see that there's something happening every other week, every other month, right? And if you are a person that's always trying to figure out what one, especially this is in regards to workshops now, especially if you keep checking on their platforms, because sometimes the algorithm will be against you. You will not see that there was something. You will find out after that, oh, maybe it's already sold out. So it's important for you to sort of have some kind of schedule where you're like, okay, cool, I know that every Monday I'm looking at what's happening, what am I missing, what's out, what's the new thing, you know what I'm saying? So that, and there's also a platform called Umpagati Artists. They post a lot of opportunities, so you could check that out as well to see what's up. When it comes to auditions, if it's open auditions, you may know about it via the companies that are holding the open auditions. A lot of times Black Brain does that, so you would see on the Black Brain social pages that they are currently looking to audition people. However, the most auditions come via an agent. We're referring back to our last episode where we spoke mostly about the agent journey. So if you don't have an agent, more often than not, you will miss what's happening. You will miss what the auditions are about or what's the new brief going around. So do yourself a favor, prep yourself to present yourself the best way to get an agent. Yeah, I hope that answers the question. The next question is, when given a script, is it a must to say it word for word, or can you go off script? This one is a tricky one, right? Because it's sometimes very director dependent. Does the director want you to say it as it is and not give you space to prepare and play around? There's that. For example, if it's a long form, maybe let's say a telenovela or like a 13 part, you will have time to some degree to sort of get in the shoes of the character and know the character. And even when you see the script, you know what the character would sound like, and they would not necessarily use these specific words on the script, but would make it sound differently to have it define them, because essentially the writer has a voice and the actor slash character have a voice, and we need to bridge the gap between the two. Is the writer really getting the voice of the character, or as you working with this character as the actor, you realize, I think this person would sound like this. Yes, I'm using now the script or these words to guide me. This is my playing field. This is what I'm working with. This is the framework. But then this is how I present, or this is my perspective of this framework, or this is how I want to color this canvas that I've been given, kind of thing. So it's not a yes or no question. Yes, I'm following word for word, or no, you can't go off script, So it's a thing of you finding the balance and also gauging the kind of set you're on and the kind of director you are working with. Sometimes you are given the time or the space to play and use your own words. Sometimes not so much, because of many reasons that we will not go into today. The next question: what do I love the most about my craft? And I love you, man. You are amazing. Thank you so much, Siwe. Thank you so much. What do I love most about my craft? I like the possibility of stepping into people's shoes and being able to portray their messages or their stories and giving them the utmost respect and have that connect to someone and have someone feel seen. I think that's one of the most beautiful things, because we can get so lost in our own worlds, and having to take off that mask or take off myself and put on someone else's experience and potentially be able to render that successfully and have the next person see themselves in that. I think that's one of the most beautiful things that come with the kind of work that I do. Thank you so much, Syria. Appreciate it. The next question is, what is my take on nudity on screen as an actor? Ooh, what a question, Uncle K. Very good question as well. This one is tricky, right? I think we need to be very careful not to be or actors that don't mind taking off our clothes, right? Our bodies are instruments, yes, but am I contributing to the story by being naked in the scene? But for me personally, there is no way I am showing my body on screen. I do think that this is a temple of the Lord. So this then says I have to be careful, or I have to be very cognizant of the kind of characters or roles I say yes to. I have to communicate myself clearly to the casting director or my agent and let them know that these are the kind of roles I will not do by any means. If it requires me to be naked, no, I'm not doing that. Not doing a nude scene. We are going to get to a point where we have to speak about intimacy scenes, yes. We are going to get to a point where the character maybe potentially has to be in a intimate scene with like the other actor. How are we treating that is what's important for me. I'm not showing my very sacred parts of my body. I'm not compromising myself in that process. So as an actor, have those things, know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do and why you're not willing to do that. I don't feel comfortable showing my body on screen. No, it's not. Yes, I work with my body. Let my body be dressed and work it. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Next. What is my go-to process or system when getting into character? Very good question, Bobby. So this for me has grown over the years. It's changed over the years. It's not a linear process or journey as well, right? One that has come to work so beautifully recently is a plug that I got from a workshop where I was at. Yeah, it was a workshop hosted by the Jersey Film Festival. So again, the importance of workshops. You get to learn, you never stop learning. So know what's happening, right? Anyway, this beautiful actress, very, very powerful actress, was telling us about her process and her journey and broke it down so beautifully, but I'm going to try to be brief about it. She said how she starts her character journey is by seeing her character and acknowledging them as human beings or a human being, because essentially that's what you are portraying. You are portraying another human, you are portraying another life. Therefore, you ought to treat it as you would treat yourself, right? Yes, it's not a living being, but it's about to be a living being through you. So treat it as such already. So she would first start by seeing and acknowledging the character's existence, sawubona, unjani, and that also bridges the gap in understanding where you are as the actor and where the character is, so that when you do finish with this character, you know and remember where the character met you, how you were. You can revert back to that. This is how I am when you're answering the character. This, I am good, thank you, or I am not so okay. I have this and this and this is bothering me. So it's a vulnerable position to put yourself in as well. But you must, because I don't think there's acting without vulnerability, right? And then she goes on ahead and writes a letter to this character. I can't remember if I got the letter thing from her or someone else. But yes, and then the next thing I do is write a letter. Again, these are all things that I've been just picking up on the way, right? Write a letter to my character, and this allows me to get to know them through my subconscious, because after I have read obviously her story, her bio, what her motivations are, what her flaws are, what her strengths are, and how she fits into the story and what the story is, I'm able to speak life into her via my letter, right? Where I tell her, this is who you are, this is how I fit into your world, and would you allow me to take your story on and be one with you, and you treat my body with as much care as I will treat your story, kind of thing. So also putting together an agreement of some sort between you and this character. And I think from that point on, when I read the script and I get to learn the lines, it's almost easier because there's been a wall that's been broken between my character and myself. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope that is clear and you have a slight idea at least of how I try to get into it. But also it depends how much time you have to get into this, how deeper can you go, how much time do you have with the character for you to keep just unpeeling the layers and. Sure? Next, how do you memorize lines? How I memorize lines first starts with obviously you having done enough work of characterization, so that when you do read that script, it's not too far-fetched for you to understand the context and the concept of the story, and also the position of the character, right? So that when I do read maybe 3 more times, it's not hard for it to make sense to me, but also for it to start becoming a part of me. Do you know what I'm saying? So I read the script multiple times when I get it, and I try to present it different times, or different ways rather. Try to like recite it in different ways, approaches, so that I eventually find the one that really feels the most natural and authentic to the character and their journey. And then it starts being a thing of me doing it a couple more times, and at some point you're good. Like, I think the muscle gets trained so much that sometimes you reading it 3 times, you would be good, you know. So it's a muscle that needs training, and it changes. It depends also on the story, the length of the scene, and the length of the script. What kind of words are being used? Is it tough? Am I translating? Am I, you know? There's just many aspects involved in how you get these lines properly on the first go, but also it's not too hard a journey for someone that has been doing it for a while, because it becomes like second nature learning lines. Yeah. Next question. How do I deal with nerves on stage, or on screen rather? I breathe. I breathe. I breathe. I breathe. I breathe. Deep breaths that are like from the diaphragm will save you, and just also just having a conversation with yourself. Have the conversation with yourself about Why are you here? You know, it's not by chance that you're here, unless it is. I'm kidding. It's not by chance that I'm on this production, I'm shooting this thing right now. Sometimes it starts to be an imposter syndrome thing that you constantly have to fight, right? That gets you like extremely nervous. But also nerves are good, right? Nerves say you care about what you're doing. So channel your nerves to work for you and not against you. So that breathing for me really helps to sort of, and also it contributes to your adrenaline, right? The adrenaline that you need to portray the scene to its ability, or the best of its ability rather. Yeah, so, or tweak your nerves to work for you and not against you. Yeah, so I breathe through it. Yeah, and channel them to be an advantage instead of a disadvantage. Yeah. Next question. How do I approach branding and marketing myself as an actor? This is a difficult question, I have to say, Uncle K. Very difficult question. Because I think I'm still struggling with that, to be honest with you. I'm still trying to figure out how to present myself outside of my work, and how to have my work both define and not define me, and how to use my therefore popularity of my work to brand myself, right? Or to market myself. And also, what am I marketing? Am I marketing myself as the actor, or am I marketing myself as Sigelelo, or am I marketing the roles I'm playing or the work I'm doing? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's still a very tricky one. I'm still learning it. It's still a journey. So I would be lying to you to say I've got an actual answer to that, but I'm really just trying to sit into my creativity more than anything. I think this season of my life is me trying to be as creative as I can be, and not wait on anything or anyone, but just create. Yeah. And I think this space also is part of my branding and marketing, still in what I do, kind of thing. So it's really just, it's still a bit of a blur that I'm still trying to put together in focus. Yeah, very beautiful question though. Next question is, where can we get information on where we can go for auditions and when? I think this question I answered about the workshops and the auditions. Keep your finger on the pulse, follow the right pages, know who, like research, it's not gonna come to you. And also get an agent so that you can know when auditions come out. Yeah. Next question. Do I have to say the exact words from a script when performing? This is also similar to that question we had. Yes and no, depending on the kind of director that is directing you and how married they are to the dialogue or the script. I've had so many directors say to me, I'm not married to the words. I'm not married to the words. It's okay, it's okay. You don't have to give me the exact words, you know. Just give me, just live in it, perform, live in it, you know. Think about it more, think about the words you're saying, let the words affect you, you know. Give me subtext, give me, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes the words are just a door to the room that you need to be exploring on screen, so not all the time. Next question is, do I feel nervous in front of the camera? Many times, yes, especially in the beginning of the project, because you still have the nerves of, am I going to portray this character the best way, the right way? Am I even the right one? Is this approach or offering going to impress the director? Is my fellow actor also going to, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things happening in your mind. So yes, nerves are there, especially at the beginning of the project. So nerves never really go away. You just learn how to make them work for you. The next question is, how much of control rather does an actor have over their work? It's a really brilliant question that you're asking. Very little control. That's the answer. Very little control. The best thing you can do is prepare. so that when you get on set, you can offer your best. And if the director doesn't feel your best is really working for them, or they'd like to sort of collaborate with you to sort of give you their vision as well, there you are allowed to take direction, but also because you have prepared enough and best and can take direction, you know how to still make whatever direction you get best. But after you perform, all your control is over. You have done what you've done, and you've given away all rights to control, because it's no longer yours. It's gonna go to edit. Director, producer, whoever that watches in the edit will decide how they portray you, and whatever that gets to happen about your work, where it goes, who sees it, you've got very little control over that. Your control ends on set, and that control also is still a collaboration. So there's very little control that the actor has, unless you are more than just an actor on that production. Yeah, which is a journey on its own, right? Yes. Next question. When I have a script, how do I pitch it out there? This question is beyond this channel, unfortunately, because we are speaking all things acting. If you are an actor that's got a script, I think if you have the networks and you're creating relationships, ask around, ask the people that are around you, ask the writers you know, ask the producers you're working with. Yeah, but it's also very difficult to break into the industry as a writer, so I'd be lying to you, I don't really have a clue. But there's also the Writers Guild that you can try and join, and they've got multiple workshops at the Writers Guild that you can look into, become a part of, so that you can be plugged into that ecosystem and these questions can be better answered. Yeah. Next question is commercial auditions. That's what the question is, commercial auditions. I'm not too sure what to answer, but I'll see what I can. So yes, there are like commercial auditions, and those are different to TV auditions. I've recently been getting a lot of commercial auditions, and it's really a hard one to crack, to be honest with you. Commercial auditions, I think, are really just focused on the look, right? Is your look selling what we are trying to sell? Are you looking like this brand that we want you to sell or that we want you to advertise? So they're very specific, but also very broad, you know? There'll be like hundreds of people coming for an audition, different people, and you won't know who they're going to choose. So half the time I can say maybe it's luck or it's your time, but I'm sure that someone that has booked a lot of auditions, commercials, would know better. I am still getting into that game, I'm still learning it, and I'm starting to enjoy it. And I think also just don't think too much about commercial auditions. I think that's one of the things. Play, have fun, be present, be there. Don't think too much about the story, don't think about, you know, just, yeah, be present and look your best. Try to stick to the brief as much as you can in terms of look. Yeah, that's all I can say. And those also come mostly via agent. Yeah. Next question is, now I want to know about Indoya script, how does it work? I think we've answered that slightly. How does it work in Indoya script? You receive a script as an actor after you have been casted. You have been confirmed. That's the word I'm looking for. You get a script after you have been confirmed, right? And even there's processes, obviously, like we must come together. You have been, yes, we've confirmed you. They'll send you a script via email. You get a chance to look at the script. Maybe they will have a table read, hopefully. and you guys can discuss the script with the director and see what the approach is, and even discuss how you were thinking of approaching it, and what you think of the character, and basically have a proper interaction with the script, and maybe even the mastermind behind the script, so that when you do offer your portrayal of this character, you've had the journey with the people that have an idea of what they want to see. And yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what parts of the script you want to know about, but yeah, a script is an actor's best friend. And yeah, it's important to know what's happening in the story before you step onto any set, and know your character and how they fit into the story. Yeah, I think that was our last question. And I just want to say thank you for making it this far into the video. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, right now, don't forget to subscribe, to like, and to share this video. And again, tell us what you think. Tell us what you want to know more about. I have been having so much fun in seeing you guys interact and engage with the work. Cannot wait to see more of this. This was another episode of To Be an Actor. See you guys on the next episode.